One of the wildest designs from Creature Caster is here.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we have a treat for you today. Creature Caster sent us their brand new Queen of Onslaught miniature. Now, this is I don't know much about it. I haven't even opened the box yet. I don't know what weapons it comes with, what heads it comes with. I have some art to look at, which I'm going to share with you guys. And I don't really know what to make of it, besides the fact that the picture I have seen is pretty wild. So let's take a look at this. They sent it over to us to share with you guys and kind of, get the promotion ball rolling, because they've always got some crazy looking stuff that's super dope and people really, really dig their miniature. So let's jump right in. Let's go over to the site and try to piece this all together. So here it is, creaturecaster.com. You can log in whatever country you're in, figure out your local stock and things like that, and, get it all converted over to your local currency and shipped right out, so you don't have to wait, coming from a different country or perhaps a different continent. Latest update on here, they don't have the new Queen of Onslaught on here quite yet, but I'm sure she will go up at some point here in July 2020 for sale. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to be more on the price point of like the King of War or the Queen of Malefica, which we saw, I guess, earlier in the year. That's a far out, pretty crazy looking model. And this one looks like it might even be wilder. I didn't know that was possible, but yeah, we're going to take a closer look at this one. If you missed their creation campaign for the new Kenneth Mira, apparently there's a local tale of a moose, beaver, ostrich type thing. It's like man, bear, pig, but more Canadian. Leave it to them to be more sensible than us crazy Americans, right? So here's the Onslaught section. If you're wondering like what all is happening in the whole Onslaught demon section, well, you can kind of see them. I got this set to US dollars, so obviously you can convert it over to your local currency. It should be about the same, give or take. Here's the King of War, so I imagine the Queen of Onslaught will be about the same-ish price point. Don't 100% know yet. I'm sure they will have some instructions on how to assemble it up on their Instagram. They actually have, where is it? Is it this? In their creature community, which is just across the top right here, they will have assembly instructions. And here's the last one, the Lord of Sacrifice, which went up shortly after. Gosh, when did the Queen of Malefica? I don't remember. Dang, it's been a while. Anyways, it went up shortly after we did our video. So look for those right here. And I think they also kind of post them up on their Instagram. And then, of course, they've always got their blog where, they talk about a bunch of different things and also include the assembly instructions as well over there. But if you're looking to buy it, it's probably going to be right here when it's ready to go up for sale. You can click in. If you have some discount coins or something, you can use those too for previous purchases. But, for the most part, this is probably where you're going to be looking for it. Right now, it looks like they're kind of waiting on a restock. So I imagine that's going to come in with their next restock, so you can kind of scoop up whatever you're looking for, including the new Queen of Onslaught. Speaking of which, let's go over to the paint table and take a look at the box and try to figure out what the heck is in this thing. So before we get to the actual miniature, I want to give you a visual. Now, this is an exclusive picture they shared with some of the creature creators out there for us to kind of see, hey, what is this supposed to look like? Kind of some ideas. This actually turns out to be the actual miniature itself. Now, they shared some artwork with us early on, and it's pretty close to that for sure. So you can already tell this is a wild model. You've got the smoke, you got the impact jumping down, then you've got the crazy whip kind of cracked back, and that is a very, very large whip. This is a very large base. I'm going to show you more of that here in a few minutes. There's wings, like demon wings as you would expect, but then there's crab legs on the demon wings. Because why not? I mean, it works. But it's wild, there's a lot going on in this miniature. There's a lot of metallic areas, there's a lot of armor areas, there's a lot of fleshy areas. So it's going to take a lot of skill to paint this thing up, which, is kind of the appeal to a lot of people looking for that display piece or, kind of something to enter in the Resin Beast contest. So this is really neat just seeing this picture, but I'm sure there's some alternate heads, or at least maybe a alternate head and maybe some alternate weapons as well. It almost looks like there's some bows on the back, like kind of on her strapped to her back right there, kind of like Legolas almost, and some sort of gladius type dagger sword thing to go along with her axe. So a lot going on right now. So let's dig in, to the box and take a closer look. Now, if you've never gotten a miniature, I say miniatures the term very loosely because these are ginormous, from Creature Caster, this is basically how it comes. You're gonna get it this nice little cardboard box. On the back, it's gonna have a kind of a sticker. It might be written in like some sort of Sharpie, metallic Sharpie, like kind of what it is right there. Open it up, and it's gonna come sometimes in a black kind of envelope with some baggies. Sometimes with these clear kind of bubble baggies is kind of a new thing, but sometimes we've seen it inside the other bags. A lot of times it's just a bag itself, like with this life tracker kind of wound kind of counter thing right here. So that is basically how you're gonna see the stuff come. Now, I don't know what these parts are yet, so we're gonna have to open these all up and lay them out for you. Well, that's obviously a base, and see exactly what this miniature is all about. So first up, it looks like it's going to be part of the wings here. So this looks to be the wings themselves, and then the supports with like some armor plating here. And man, let me tell you what, this detail is absolutely incredible. Like on this right here, it looks like I'm going to have to kind of zoom in to show it to you. So we'll just do it from far away right now and cover it on the model when it's assembled. But it is, there's gorgeous little skulls and everything in there, and this twine is pretty intense. And now it looks like this is gonna, with this slot right here, it's gonna lock in, so that's gonna form the wing, and then the crab claws are gonna go all up in these right here. And then somehow the smoke and the explosions, or like the impact, is gonna all lay out right in this. Now this is a 100mm base approximately. It's 4 inches, so an inch equals about 25mm, give or take. So approximately 100 centimeters here. And then the life counter is pretty dope. One side goes up to 20, and then you can flip it over and it just goes up to like, 10? Is this 10? Yeah, it's just 10. Now they do include some ferrous little pieces of magnet right here, where I guess you could use a dime. It looks to be about the size of a dime, and some magnets there for the facings, depending on which way you want to turn it. So if you want to paint your miniature and then have the life counter or life token right here, you could do that too and have it set down next to your centerpiece model type deal. And this, if I had to guess, would be the two different alternate heads that are going to come in here. So you've got kind of a human head, which we've already seen, and some sort of this almost looks like a cat and demon skull sort of thing. If it's got a cat on it, I'm all about it. Now all the parts seem to get pretty interesting, to be honest with you. You can see the main body here, the two different heads, two different axe weapons, which I didn't catch on. And then here, these look like bows, but there's no quiver for arrows. So I'm thinking maybe these are the bows of the champions that the Queen of Onslaught's killed, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. The mystery, so to speak, thickens. And then you have all the parts to the whip up here, as well as the end itself. One arm here, and I think this is her, I want to say this is her left arm, where the axe will go, and two different right arms, which the right arm was the whip. So, oh, yep, okay, there it is. So these axes have different hands. So one's a right, one's a left. So you can actually have her dual wielding axes, which is kind of cool and definitely very onslaughty, so to speak. Let's zoom in. Let's see, we need to zoom in a little bit just to get the better detail, because I'm not sure. There it is. So now you can see that is pretty interesting face there, very demony. Got the whole like bat ears sort of thing, so very much on the demon side. And then, like I said before, that's I would say that's more cat-like. That's a demon cat. We got a demon cat. Pretty cool. Didn't expect that. And then here's the two axe heads or hefts, and those are very ornate and very cool looking. Definitely demony right there. I don't know what that's about, but very interesting. I'm sure there's a story behind it somewhere. And then the front of the model as well, you can see there's definitely a lot going on. What is? Oh, there's a claw that goes right there. Okay. And then lots of very good looking skull detail work here. The leg, and then this is the leg over here, which I can't lock in yet because it's not taken off. And then you've got, and what is that, a pierced nipple? Yes, we have a pierced nipple. No one expects the pierced nipple. I want to say some of the art, there was another piece that went over this, so we'll have to look for that here in a minute as well. I imagine there might be some sort of armor plating there if you want to cover that up, if it's not safe for work or home or something like that. I did notice this little notch on the back, which leads me to believe it lined up when I didn't show you on the back of the backpack, but it looked like the two pieces went together right about there, and they also had that notch on it. So I'm almost wondering if that's how they lock in. I would have liked to see a magnet there, but I think if you don't glue it down and just paint the wings separate, because they're going to be very much different, or they could be about the same, but painting them separate would definitely be a lot easier when you got all the skin and bone detail on the front here. I almost feel like you want to glue that on separately or magnetize it. I would probably just glue it on separately if it's going to be your centerpiece there. So that is all of bag 2, and we still got one more to go. And last but not least, we have a jigsaw puzzle. Well, not really, but you can see here there is a lot of the crab claws going on. Fortunately, they're all numbered, so if we did have the instructions, it would be easy to put them together in the correct order, but we don't, so we'll just make it work, I'm sure. Here's all the explosions and the different pieces that are going to fit on this base somehow. Again, well, you know, it's a jigsaw, but it's not really that hard, to be quite honest. I'm wondering if there's a way to do it to remove the model. But I feel like you paint all that together. So I feel like there is an opportunity here for some paint assemblies, but I'm not exactly sure what they are quite yet. And I suspect this is your boob armor. So that looks like a shoulder plate, but that looks like, yeah, that looks like that's what that is. We'll find out and take a look at the completed model up next. Holy cow, look at this miniature. So this isn't even all of it. Believe me, this is crazy. This is their wildest design yet. I mean, she is very, very dynamic, got a lot going on, almost like some sort of crazy magic card you see the art for, and you're like, that would never work as a miniature, but dude, this works as a miniature. The trophy, I guess, bows here, I didn't find a quiver, so I'm thinking those are trophies of some sort. She's got a lot going on. You know, the hand, I would definitely recommend painting separate, perhaps, or at least base coating it first with all the metals, because this actually rests and there's like spots where it seems to just like lock in here, and I'll zoom in on this here in a second, on some of the smoke clouds or the debris clouds, so to speak, back here. But then something else that you're going to notice is, just like we said, there's that lock-in spot for the backpack or the wings. So I didn't glue this down, and it's kind of one of these things that's obviously very delicate, and you're probably not going to want to assemble it because this goes down and this goes around, and it turns into a whole thing, I won't lie. But when you get it in here, and then of course I left it separate, it's very, very imposing and very, very dynamic. I mean, this is tall. Like, I'm going to measure it here in a second, but I'm guessing 9, 10, probably 11 inches. It's definitely bigger than most stuff out there. So this is incredible, and I feel like you're definitely going to want to paint this separate, and we'll zoom in on all of this here in a second, and I do want to get a good measurement, but unfortunately I only have 2 hands, so I'll be right back. So I tried using blue tack. I tried coming up with a way to get that to hold without gluing it, and it's just too precarious. It's too much weight, so you're going to definitely want to use glue on that, depending on how you go about painting it. But it's very wonderful how it goes together and how they kind of thought it all through, because the chains actually support partly on the wings as well. So you may lock these down with some glue on these debris areas, but it's also going to kind of hold up on the wings themselves. So wonderful design wise. I mean, presentation wise, very, very cool. There's all the stuff you would expect from a creature caster. Lots of skulls, lots of explosions, very dynamic posing and things like that. Don't know what's going on with the bows quite yet, but I'm sure we'll figure all that out. Went with the cat head because, I mean, cats. Oh, and let me show you this. It does look like this is armor for here. So it's just gonna go on something like that. I think that's how it would go. I don't think it's gonna go the other way, but maybe there's another. Oh yeah, I guess it could. Oh yeah, I think that's actually the way it goes. Okay, so there's that. So if you do want to cover that up, whatever, you'd have that option as well. So it's kind of cool that they give you that option. So there's that. Now taking a closer look at the crab claws, this is indeed like just basically a demon wing with your normal bony kind of spires and things, and then just crab claws. I love it. It's so crazy. It works. And then some crazy, you got some metal armor areas here, and then your normal kind of bat areas. In here you can see, like I was talking about, where they go together in the back, and then you would glue that right there. So maybe a powerful magnet might be worth it, maybe not. It just kind of depends on what your commitment level is. And you know, you can see all the gaps and everything in here. This, you know, we don't have a lot of time to get these together, so it's not the best assembly job by us, unfortunately, but it's easily, you know, redoable. So you snap that apart and just kind of fix the thing sometimes. You know, there isn't a whole lot of you know, mold lines or anything like that on the Creature Caster stuff, which is pretty amazing, to be quite honest. Now this model does stand 10 inches tall from the very tip here to the base, which is pretty big, and I'm gonna show you how she compares up to some other miniatures here. So here's the Queen, and here's a Primaris Blood Angel. Oof, no comparison. Let's see what else we can find. I dug out our, I say old Bloodthirster, but it's the plastic Bloodthirster. It's sad that we say old already, because he's not really that old, to be quite honest. And here you can see he is painted smaller. He's smaller. He's painted, but he's definitely noticeably smaller, you know, once you put it up to the level there, than the Queen of Onslaught. So she is definitely for sure chunky. And, well, not chunky in a bad way or anything like that. It's just the model is physically bigger. And maybe she's more on the named kind of side of things, as opposed to just a buster kind of Bloodthirster type deal. And there's one more model we can grab to see how she compares. Good old Angrath, or Cabanda, depending on you know, which lore you kind of subscribe to things on the 40K side. Well, she is definitely taller than Angrath, but I think Angrath is about the same size with that axe raised high. Now the base, as you remember, back in the day, we used to use CD-ROMs. I'm not gonna say that's an AOL CD-ROM, but it's an AOL CD-ROM. So I don't know the approximate size. I would think that's whatever the CD-ROM size is over 5 inches, so it's a little bit bigger size base. But as you can see, she definitely hangs with all of the Games Workshop miniatures, size-wise, scale-wise, maybe somewhat composition-wise out there too. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching our unbox and build of the new Creature Caster Queen of Onslaught model. We don't know how much she's going to be, but it's going to be over $100, and you can obviously look out for her over at creaturecaster.com here in July. I'm sure she will be up for sale very, very shortly from when you're seeing this video. If not already up for sale, right meow. Right meow, get it because it's a cat. That's it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more terrible jokes, and make sure to ring the bell so you're the very first to like and comment on all our videos.